Hello and welcome back everyone, I'm Day-Glo Buffalo. This is Let's Play Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars, the Director's Cut. When we last left off, we were back here in the church, and we were, I guess, about to talk to this priest because he's new here. At least he's new to us, and, well, we haven't talked to him yet, so let's do that.
Excuse me, Father.
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all, monsieur. It will be my pleasure to help you.
Oh, is that about the window?
I noticed that the stained glass window on the left looks more modern than the middle one.
You have a keen eye, monsieur. The original window was destroyed in the last war. It was as old as the church, early 14th century.
Oh man, that's awful.
Oui, a terrible loss. Still, the church and the other windows survived.
So I guess this is asking information about him?
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church then.
Just a little.
Okay, what little is that?
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that.
Okay, so let's not ask him about the history. Well, maybe about the Templars.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
You have come to the right place, if that is your interest. Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to France.
Well, the Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
Do you speak Latin?
You ask this of a priest?
Okay. Can you tell me what per disciplinum meam lux videbus means?
Let me see. That would be, by my teachings, you will see the light. I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I thought we had already established that.
I was in Ireland recently and I brought back this plaster.
My sister brought back a shillelagh.
A broken shillelagh, maybe? That's a reference for all the Saints Row fans out there.
Have you seen this man before?
No, I have never seen him before.
Okay, so he doesn't know Khan.
I've got a red nose.
Oui, so you have.
Succinct.
There's grease paint on this tissue.
Oui, you are correct.
Straight to the point.
I thought about using the shake and shock on him, but I couldn't do that to a priest.
Come on, it would be good for a laugh.
I have here a sewer key.
Ah, oui?
Maybe not.
Okay.
No.
Well, that's interesting. There's very little dialogue. All the stuff that he doesn't want to talk about is just like, ah, no. Or just like, I have the red nose. Yes, you do. There's no, like, excessive dialogue that goes on for hours for pointless things.
What do you think of this?
A precious sleeve and valve? What should I think?
Never mind. How about this for a gem?
It is very beautiful, monsieur. And yet, I feel that there is an air of suffering about it.
I've got a medieval tripod.
Monsieur, you are a walking treasure house.
No kidding.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
So
I didn't have time to sit around.
that conversation really didn't do us any real good. I wonder if there's anything...
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack. Well, I could have just taken the end off the staff, but I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting out of vandalizing a church, other than deported. A scroll was a symbol of scholarship, I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell.
So we get nothing more out of this.
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday...
This is all the same dialogue we already had. I mean, obviously we have to do something with the juggler out front, because otherwise he wouldn't be there. That's the only big change to the last time. Well, the priest was too, but we talked to him, and that didn't really go anywhere. We talked to the juggler too, and that didn't go anywhere either.
Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
Can we ask him to juggle again? Maybe throw his balls away or something, that he gets distracted? Maybe...
Look, a red nose.
Ah, you are a clown.
A clown?
No, if so, you would be a much better jongleur.
For a moment, an idea capered around near the spotlight of my attention, but fell down the pothole of abstraction before I could focus on it.
That has to mean something. He said that last time as well. And I presume that idea is to pass himself off as a clown or something and to show this guy up. But,
Catch you later.
Can
Au
we
revoir, monsieur.
Can we put on the nose? No.
Hi again.
I was just going to talk to him again.
What is it this time?
Look,
Ah, no.
for a moment, but fell down. Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Maybe. That's kind of one of the annoying things about this game, is that apparently we need to achieve things through, like, we can't just put on the nose or something. Can we talk to this guy again?
Excuse me, officer. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templars. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that...
We already heard this too.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
We heard
Yeah.
this.
Which one?
Yeah.
And
Maybe we can get the policeman to get rid of the clown, but I don't see how.
Have you seen this man before?
no. Who is it?
I believe...
Oh,
Is that all?
No,
but
we
it-
already heard that as well. I don't know.
Do you know what this is?
Aha!
Yep, we already had that.
If you... It's...
It...
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Ah! You are a clown.
Do I look like a clown?
No. Although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been amusing. And not a humiliation for you.
What do you mean?
Who ever heard of a plainclothes clown?
He had a point. So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy. But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon. Oui, monsieur. You have it.
Okay. That was, well, basically, yeah, what I just thought. Maybe show up the clown.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Question is, how do we do it? Oh,
I couldn't open it with my bare hands.
clicked on the manhole by... Maybe now, what?
Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
Maybe this time with the nose?
I'd like to have another try at juggling, please.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps?
No, I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your humiliation, monsieur.
Okay, now for my secret weapon. The juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. And without a word, he collected his balls and left in a fury. Hey! You forgot one of your balls! Hey! But he didn't hear. Better still, deprived of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change.
And the crowd applauded noiselessly. But yeah, this kind of reinforces the point that I was trying to make earlier. I don't think I actually finished it. That, you know, certain things you have to do through conversation. Talking to the right people in the right order about the right things to make him do something. You know, you can't just think of yourself of saying, put on the clown nose and juggle. Because there's no option to ask to juggle, and there's no option to yourself put on the clown nose. No, you have to go talk to the policeman about first you have to juggle badly. Then you have to go talk to the policeman about the clown nose to get the idea of putting on the clown. It's I don't know. I think it's kind of messy game design. But anyway, enough digression from me. We can probably now, in front of all these people, open up the sewers and head on down. Okay. Mass savior was Nico. We had that. Parimo Fasson. Fooled an idiot juggler, or jongleur, as he wanted to be called. And now here I go again, into another sewer. Yeah, again, the point that I was making in the last video stands again. Way too much George, not nearly enough Nico. Personally, the game could have been just Nico, no George.
If I wanted to get deeper into these catacombs, I was going to have to get onto that path. If the near edge hadn't crumbled away, I could have jumped it easily.
Okay. So we have to build a bridge here somehow? Maybe we can detach this barge or whatever it is? Okay, I'm not sure what good that did.
The hook lay in a bed of chain.
Okay, we got a hook, but we can't detach this chain that holds the boat in place. So then we can go back there. Or we can check out these panels.
My medieval French isn't much, but the few words I understood seemed to say, "This is where the gallows used to stand." Maybe.
The gallows was in the sewers?
The inscription was hard to read, but I made out Templier and something about innocence.
Okay.
The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since gone. The wall seemed in very poor condition. The inscription was undecipherable. The plaster had cracked and was falling away. I wondered why. The wall had flaked, and...
Okay. So it has cracked. Oh, well, maybe it brought us luck in Ireland. So maybe we can jam it open somehow?
It was time for some brutal destruction.
Nice.
Hey, that's hollow! I'd poked a hole in an historical site. If any archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this. There was some sort of mechanism hidden inside the wall, with a lever in the middle of it. Here goes. The secret door had jammed. I couldn't get through that gap.
Maybe if we take our thing back?
I'd pulled the lever right over.
Or maybe we can use this? Or hook up this thing? Oh, that looks promising. Okay, I'm not sure what we exposed. I thought there was going to be a puzzle behind it with, like, the gears and stuff, but apparently not. And we did get our thing back, our sewer opener. So let's see. Oh, there's something here.
In the beginning was the end.
An end wrought by our enemies began our darkness.
In the end will be a beginning.
An end to our enemies heralds our new day.
Report. The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations more respect than their own citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction and dissidence is growing. The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their own executives to control them. A blind belief in market forces is accelerating this trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought and planning in all the major governments. They are acting on hasty decisions that cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Excellent. The tired old governments are dying a slow death from their own incompetence and our machinations. Professor, where is the broken sword?
As we discussed last time, with the loss of the manuscript, our search is as a corollary hindered.
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say our predecessors,
Hold on. These are the Templars?
must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sword of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Igram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lokmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes. He actually thinks.
Silence! Do I have to remind you that we have a sacred duty? A trust? When Philippe attempted to destroy the Order, we lost the sword and our power with it. Now we have the opportunity to reforge it. But time is short. We need results. Not petty bickering. Not excuses. Now, Professor Baphomet.
Yes, of course. My apologies. We will find Baphomet and the sword, manuscript or no. We have already found another element actually within Paris.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present.
Ha!
But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize others, Eklund. At least I have not murdered one of our own.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
Marquet was a liability. Eklund dealt with him on my orders.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news for us, Professor?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was he?
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that, nothing.
The assassin.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
This will be our last meeting in person until we locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't need to emphasize the importance of finding it. Without it, our endeavors come to nothing. With the sword reforged, we will have the power to sweep the stage of all opposition. The next time that we meet, it will be to become the princess of this world!
Wow.
Okay. So that was an info dump of a cutscene. Gatecrashed a meeting of influential leaders from the military, business, government, and academia. Recognized the academic. He was hanging around the Hotel Ubu. Must have been staking out Khan. The big boss, a guy they call the Grand Master, mentioned a broken sword. Title drop. Didn't Marquet say something about fixing a sword? Did he? The Sword of Baphomet. They talked about Klausner, who has some lens that's important, but he's vanished to Syria. They think the assassin may have got him too. The Grandmaster claimed to be a Knights Templar. Wouldn't it be Knight Templar? Singular? Because there's only one Grandmaster? I really don't trust them at all. They're just a bunch of megalomaniacs planning a new order. Yeah, that's more or less what it sounded like. Okay, so now we're down here. We can go back up.
The water seemed to belong to an underground river or something. It was way too deep to belong to the catacombs.
That's how they came in, I guess, on the boat. So let's see. We can only look... Oh, no, we can look at the pillar. Oh. Wait, before we... No, that both led to the same place, so... Okay, non omnes moriar. Clarior et tenebris. Tenebris is darkness. Clarior has to be clear, like light. So light and darkness, or maybe? I recognize the words, my Latin grammar, which I didn't really know all that well. The grammar in Latin was always my problem. So I was never very good at it, and I've forgotten most of it. So not everybody dies, maybe? Because Omni uses everything or everyone. Huh.
There was a large circle marked out on the floor with a stump in the middle. Around the circle I could see words inlaid into the stone. On the circle's circumference were the Templar seal and 2 Latin phrases, Non omnis moriar and Clarior e tenebris. I shall not die completely, the brighter from the darkness.
Okay, well, I was close. Brightener in the darkness, and I shall not die completely, but fair enough. Well, George's Latin is a lot better than mine. I see.
In the middle of the circle was a stump of stone, a shaft of daylight from the world above lancing down to touch it.
And also 3 indents on top of it. So can we put our tripod here? Yes,
the tripod's feet fitted neatly into the notches on the top of the stump.
And what goes with the tripod, of course, is the gem.
The light falling from above struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays. And each ray picked out a letter. Starting from the left,
Marib?
I could read M-A-R-I-B. Marib. Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant.
Is it an anagram, maybe? Marib.
Nico, I've seen them.
Who?
The Templars. I spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars. They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the broken sword, whatever that is.
And how does the assassin fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These Neo-Templars, they're men and women in influential positions. Don't you see? Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy called Klausner who's gone to Syria, but they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved inscription. I set up the gem on the tripod, directly below a beam of light. The gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A-R-I-B.
Marib is a village in Syria.
Then the Neo-Templars are ahead of us. Klausner beat me to it.
You're not thinking of going there yourself, are you?
Why not?
These guys are crazy and dangerous. That reminds me, you should leave the gem here.
Okay. What about the tripod?
I'll send it back to Andre, anonymously.
Okay, so we're rid of the gem and the tripod.
Maybe not. No way.
Okay, so we can't talk about anything new.
No. Do you want this photograph back?
No, you keep it. I can always make another print.
I don't think there's anything new that we can talk to her about.
Did I show you this matchbook?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Who was it who said that it was a town? Whatever the matchbook is. It doesn't seem, though, that we can talk to Nico about anything new.
Do you think I should go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
Okay. Found out what the tripod and gem were for. Placed on the stump at the center of the circle with the Neo-Templar, where the Neo-Templars had met. The gem refracted onto 5 letters, M-A-R-I-B. Nico informs me Marib is the name of a village in Syria. That was where Klausner was last seen. This assassin must be Khan. He's killing them to stop them from reforging the sword of Baphomet, whatever that might be. Okay. So, we're still playing as George. Apparently, are we ever going to play as Nico again? And, I guess we're going to Syria? Oh! We could go Vasconcelos. We can go to Spain too. So I'd say let's go to Spain first because I totally missed that we could go there, but that was, we found that first. So let's go here first, and then we'll go to Syria afterwards. You only saw that crest for a second there. Well, anyway, here we are in Spain. But I think I'll end this video here. So for now, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like or a comment below. Subscribe to stay up to date, and I will see you in the next part. So until then, have a good one.